All right, welcome back to the Believe You Are a Good Mom podcast. And today I have a special treat because we have a good dad instead of a good mom. This is so fun. So this is Joey Mascio, and you can watch this on YouTube because sometimes I put these interviews up on my YouTube channel.
Oh, I didn't do my hair.
I know. Sometimes we only do audio because we didn't do our hair, but today there's no hair. So you're going up. All right, Joey, tell everybody who you are.
What's up? I'm Joey Mascio. I'm a life coach for teens. I've been a life coach now for teens for 4 years. I specifically work with teens on developing self-confidence, building social skills, achieving their goals. Before that, I was a middle school teacher and counselor for 7 years, where I volunteered to be the teacher in the discipline office. And I was there for many a year. And
hold on. I just watched Back to the Future last night, and Mr. Strickland, we had subtitles on, so all of a sudden I got that. I'm like, whoa, Strict Land is like his name, or Strict something, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Strickland, sure.
Yeah, and his office said something about like discipline, like his is the discipline office. So anyway, okay, carry on.
Yeah, well, there's always a teacher that needs to be in there for when the kids get like kicked out and all that. And I was like, I think I can do some good work in there. My principal was like, what? You want to be in there? I'm like, yeah, I do. And so I had some great time in there, started a lot of programs, did a lot of things. And then I found out about life coaching. I'm like, wait a minute, that's what I'm doing. But let me try this out, kind of on my own. And it's been very successful. I love it. And then before that, I was an actor and a performer. I used to be an actor at Disneyland. I'm not sure if you knew this.
I did. Claim to fame. Hold on. Let's see if I can remember.
Let's see.
Oh, shoot. I don't remember. Is it the Mad Hatter?
Yes, I'm the only
actor. No. Let me get the other one.
Okay.
He's the only one who's played the Mad Hatter, and I don't remember. What's the other one?
With the horns around his head, an evil look, Star Wars villain.
Darth Maul.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. So only actor in Disneyland history to have played both of those characters.
Nice.
So
that's so fun.
That's me.
Is that where your hat comes from in the background too? Is that your official Mad Hatter hat?
Well, no, not. They wouldn't let me take the official one. But on my last day as a Mad Hatter, my Alice that I was playing with, working with that day, she bought me that hat, and I did my Mad Hatter signature, and now it's there to remind me of the good old days.
Right? Oh my goodness, I have so many things in here that remind me of the good old days. Okay, that my kids are destroying in the better old days right now, right?
Oh yes.
So, speaking of that, hold on. I interrupted you. Keep going. We're still on your intro.
No, that was it. That's
No, it's not.
That was my whole spiel.
All right, spiel. All right, great. Okay, so Joey is now working on an app for teens because teens don't do anything except apps, right? Their lives.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Sure. Neither do adults, neither do kids. My toddlers think that they need to be on apps all day long too. So tell us about this app.
Yeah, so the work I do, my company is called Sidekick to Hero, where I take teens who feel like the sidekick in their lives and I help them become the hero of their own story, which is who they were meant to be. And as I've been working with teens for a long time, and in one-on-one coaching, and I was doing a membership with some friends of mine, and we created Firmly Founded, and we did that for years. And I'm like, man, this is good, but the only thing that's missing here is a better tech, because the teens love tech and they love things that that feel like a video game, and they love things that feel like YouTube. And I'm like, what if I just took those two things and I combined them into this gamified mindset training platform? I call it an app, but the first version is going to be a web-based app, because not all teens have a smartphone, and I get that. And so it's going to be a web-based app that is accessible on Chromebooks or any desktop or whatnot. And then we'll develop the mobile friendly version, and then we'll have the iPhone and the Android versions coming out later. But right now, everybody can access it. And it's an app where it takes everything that I teach and it puts it into this gamified system where they're the main characters, and they play through the 4 hero arenas. That's it's headspace, emotions, relationships, and objectives, which spells out hero conveniently enough, right?
Okay.
Clever.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's stages in those, and they kind of go through just like Super Mario going through kind of the stages, right? In Super
Mhm.
Mario World or whatever. And they get, quick little training. They're YouTube videos essentially that I make, and they're short and they're funny and they're powerful. And then it gives them a challenge to go do in real life, because that's really
Awesome.
where the action should be taken in all
Yes.
these video games that these teens do. They get to level 100,
Mhm.
that, oh, this is great, and then they look around at their real life and nothing has improved at all.
Yeah.
So I'm aiming to change that, and so they go do things in their real life, and then they come back to the app, and then they claim these challenges. Yeah, I've done it, and it kind of keeps a journal for them, and
Awesome.
an account of everything that they've done, and then they get experience points and then get coins, and they can level up their avatar, and they get real life prizes and all the fun things.
Real life prizes.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll be
How
giving
do
out
they do that?
Amazon gift cards, Beats headphones, PlayStations, just every month.
Oh my gosh, so fun. My 6-year-old is in. She's ready.
Nice.
So tell me what the age is it geared towards?
Yeah, it's geared towards, I'm saying 12 to 16.
Mm.
Yeah, 12 to 16 is kind of that age group that it would be really perfect for anybody older than that, 17-year-olds. If they want to do it, sure, yeah, they're totally welcomed
Mhm.
to come jump in. But it's like 15 plus or minus 3 is kind of what I'm
Gotcha.
saying.
Okay, cool. Well, I don't know. 6 is the new 12. So,
Right? I know.
oh yeah, yeah. My 3-nagers are 6-nagers now. So,
I got one of those.
yeah.
Yeah. Uh,
Um, no, but no joke. Like, if you're a mom of young kids, they're growing up fast and they're going to be teenagers before we know it. And we're trying now to teach them some emotional resilience, some mental health stuff. It's never too soon. It's never too soon. And so, um, anyway, this is really exciting. I love it.
yeah.
I feel
No,
like
and
you're totally going to change the world with this thing.
that's the plan. And because I remember when I became a life coach, I was getting certified and all that, and I was like, yeah, okay. And people are like, oh, what are you gonna do? And I'm like, I want to work with teens. It's just kind of like a no-brainer for me, with my background and everything that I've been doing. I want to work with teens.
Mhm.
And some people be like, yeah, but will teens get this?
Mm.
And they go into, well, yeah, but the prefrontal cortex isn't fully
Oh,
developed.
please. Yeah,
And I'm like, well, yeah, but what better time to give them the scaffolding that they need as their brain is being built,
exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
and I think they need it even more at this time, some of the coping mechanisms, and and all the things, because what I call them is, I call them sidekick thoughts.
Mhm.
Right? We all have sidekick thoughts that get us sidekick results, and teens have a ton of them,
Mhm.
and they mistake their sidekick thoughts for facts, and they just think there's nothing they can do about it because it's just a fact. And when I point out to them that it's not a fact, first they fight against it, as they do.
Yeah.
But when they really get it, they're like, oh yeah, I didn't realize that's just a thought, and it's a sidekick one because it's getting me sidekick results.
Mhm.
And really, I mean, I've coached as young as 12, and they've been totally able to get this.
Yeah.
Not all 12-year-olds can, but
Yeah. So I get what they're saying about the prefrontal cortex is not developed till they're 25, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But not fully developed is different than it's developing, right?
yeah,
Like if
yeah,
we wait until it's fully developed, it might be a little late to be learning. So at 25, come on, like you could have 3 babies by the time.
right.
And so, and then there's the other school of thought where, I mean, just think of all the damage we're doing to our children in the very first few years, right? Everyone wants to always guilt trip us with that, right? So
Uh-huh.
it's almost like our primal brain scaffolding is happening from birth, right?
Yeah.
Like the things like the traumas and the things that like we go through before we even know what's going on around us is affecting us for the whole rest of our life. Like that's what therapy in our old age is trying to fix,
Undo.
right?
Yeah.
And so the earlier we can prevent some of that fixing, the better, right? But again, not to guilt trip anyone. Like it's all part of the plan that we're supposed to be messed up by our imperfect parents and then do the best we can for the rest of our life. So anyway, we're all perfectly paired with the most imperfect people all around us all the
Mm,
time. It's all part of God's divine algorithm.
I love that.
And we can also, do as much damage control as we can
Yeah.
along the way. So when you talk about sidekick, I think about the leading lady versus what's like that B-list actor called who's like her, there's
Supporting?
actresses.
The supporting actress?
Yeah, sure. So what's that movie called? Hold on. The Holiday. Do you
Okay.
know that
Yeah.
movie?
Uh-huh.
So she finally meets anyway, there's a scene in there where he explains to her that she's acting like the supporting actress, but she should be the leading lady in her own life, right?
Ooh, wait, that's the one with Jack Black and Cameron
Yeah.
Diaz? I
Yeah.
have to watch that again if that's in there, because
Yeah.
yeah, that's my whole shtick with
Exactly. So
yeah,
do it. You'll see it.
sweet.
So anyway, yeah, I like to think about that I'm the leading lady in my own life. My kids even remind me of this. They're like, you're not the center of the universe. And I'm like, hey, I'm the center of my own universe. Okay.
Uh-huh.
I am.
Yeah.
Because, I let them not go to school on my birthday because I didn't want to wake them up and get them to school because that was the worst. And so now they think that every day's a holiday and they can like not have to wake up and go to school. And
Mm.
how come anyway? Okay. So get me back on track. What are we talking about?
Well, leading lady. Yeah, I like that. Being the leading lady, because this is the way I phrase it. Excuse me, is because when I was a teen, I felt like the sidekick. I felt like the best friend, but never the main character. I felt like I was less important than other people around me. And I remember walking through, and of course, got a frog in my throat now.
No worries. We don't edit anything on these.
Oh no, yeah, let the I felt that way as a teen, and I remember not liking it and thinking first it wasn't even an option for me to change because of the way I looked or the way I acted. I had a stutter, and it was just I really was just talking down on myself so much in middle school. And I remember going through that transformation myself throughout my ninth, 10th, and 11th grade years, where when I was a senior, I finally felt like I was me. And I'm like, dude, that was just the best transformation ever. And I feel like the hero of my own story. And I think all teens should feel like the hero of their own story.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so fun. That it's like so hard to explain, but like when you feel like yourself, it's a thing, you
Mhm.
know?
Yeah.
Like to tap into who you really are and like to live in alignment with that, it's like the magic you just feel so alive, right? And we're life coaches. We want to help people love their life,
Yes.
and like in order to love the life you're living, you have to be you living your life that you want to be living.
Yeah.
And as moms, we live in like this resentment life sometimes where it's like,
Mm.
I always wanted this, but this is craptastic. Like, why did I want this? I remember clearly like on my mission thinking that like I always wanted to serve a mission and this is so hard and this is so terrible, but I always wanted to do this. Like, what was it I wanted to do? And I felt like that with newborns. I'm like, wait, why do people have babies again? Like, why did I want to do that? And it's like, I don't know, just owning that we want to is part of the thing, or like why was it that we wanted to, or I don't know where I'm going with this, but do you watch Survivor?
I watched the first season
Oh, come on.
25 years
So,
ago.
so okay, well, never mind. But Jeff Probst has a podcast now that he just started that my husband and I were listening to because we're huge Survivor fans, and he was talking about casting, and like
Mm.
why they pick certain people. And he's like, I don't care who you are, but you need to know who you are. And I need to know that you know who you are, and you will get on the show. Basically, like that's what they're looking for is like the authenticity, the like and so I've just been like so fascinated by that idea. And it's kind of what you just described too, that somewhere around the end of high school, finally it was like, oh, that's who I am,
Yeah. No.
and it can take a whole lifetime for some people, and it ebbs and flows, it's not like we're one thing and we have to be that forever.
Yeah, it's not like the classic born again moment where it's like, oh, sweet, done. I'm whoop, that's all I have to do. I figured it out now. Because that's also one of the kind of misnomers, the false stories that are it's just accidentally pushed by social media, television, movies, and whatnot. That oh yeah, that guy, he's got it figured out. Or that girl, yep, she's good. she had this moment, and now she's good for the rest of her life. It's like,
Yeah.
no, that's not. This is work that is constant.
I say that all the time. There's no one and done.
No.
There's no one and done. And today, my new metaphor of no one and done is a rubber band.
Mm.
So I feel because I found a rubber band recently that I think is like literally 100 years old. It wasn't mine. Anyway,
They
I
made
pulled
rubber
it,
bands 100 years ago.
maybe because this thing is that old.
Wow.
Anyways, really old. I pulled it and it just snapped into a million
Mm.
pieces. Like resilience, the mental and emotional resilience that we help our clients with, like that's what we're all about as life coaches, right?
Mm.
Is the resilience. And it's like we think that as coaches, we should have this figured out or something, but it's like if we had it figured out, then if something would come and stretch us again, then we would just break, you know?
Mm.
Like we have to constantly, there's no one and done. Like we constantly are managing our minds and our emotions and our bodies and our everything because that's what it's all about. Like the growth and development and stretching of this life. If we just stopped stretching, all of a sudden something would come up. We would need to be resilient and we would just crumble.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. I'm going to use that tonight. Once a week, in the app, we have a live stream that I do, and the teens watch or whatever. And I'm doing it now with my pre-sale people, but the app hasn't officially launched yet. Hopefully, within the next month. But tonight we're talking about becoming anti-fragile,
Nice.
which is one of my favorite things to talk about. And I always start with some kind of a story or something like that. Like,
Cool.
oh,
Well,
yeah,
tell us the
rubber band.
story because I
Well,
feel like
I'm
I've done too much talking. We need to get to know Joey and his like fun and stories and all the things. So,
well, I mean, I'm just straight up going to improv this, which
oh,
is
good.
usually what I do.
I love it.
The subject is anti-fragile, becoming anti-fragile. Are you familiar with that concept?
No, tell me.
It's a great book by Nassim Nicholas Taleb, and it talks about what anti-fragility is. And so, I'm picturing a scientist, in his lab trying to discover this, impermeable, material. And he's got these now 3 rubber bands, and he goes to the first one, and he goes and he stretches it, and it shatters just like your 100-year-old rubber band. He's like, all right, well, it's not that material, and he goes to the second one and he stretches it, and it totally stays the same. It's like boom, like he stretches it, it can be stretched pretty far, but it maintains. And he's like, oh, this is great. And his little maybe apprentice is like, oh, great, you've done it. You've developed something that's so powerful, that's anti-fragile. And he's like, what are you, a nincompoop? No, this isn't this is robust. This is something that won't break. And he's like, yeah, I thought that's what we were going for, sir. He's like, no, we're going for something stronger than even that. And he goes to this third rubber band and he takes it. He's like, let's see if I've done it. And he pulls it, like he just stretches it out. And all of a sudden it turns into, like just some steel or something. He's like, poof, and it's what? But it's steel that's still kind of stretchy, right? Because it still has to get stretched and stretched again. But it just becomes like stronger, and it gets bigger, and it just becomes this thing that every time he pulls it, it kind of like changes form to adapt and gets stronger. And the material gets stronger and stronger. And so then now he like attaches it to 2 vehicles, and they start pulling it, and then it gets even stronger. And then he has to attach it to 2 planets. I went too big too fast. Maybe I'll go, this is good, I'm working the story out right now. Maybe it's 2 horses, and then it's 2 Humvees, and then it's 2 whatever, right? But the thing is, it gets stronger and stronger and stronger. So the first version of it, wouldn't have been able to withstand, the 2 Humvees pulling it. But the idea of anti-fragile isn't something that doesn't break under pressure. It's something that gets stronger under pressure. And he has a whole book on it, and it's fabulous. I love that concept.
Yeah.
And it's something that I feel like a lot of us don't get. I didn't get until I read this book. We think we need to be robust. So when applying this to teens, when a teen comes up, or when a bully comes up and calls us a name, we think we just need to ignore it. Oh, whatever. I know he's probably going through some hard times. Hurt people. He's just a jerk. It's not going to affect me. That's it. And we think that's the end goal, is to just be robust and not break when, pressure is put on us or stress or anything. But I think there's a step better than that. And that's what I want to work with teens on becoming. When somebody calls you a name, rather than just, nope, I'm going to ignore it, right? When they called me Moonhead in middle school, which was because my head was big, it still is, but it was even bigger back then because my body was smaller. When they called me Moonhead, rather than just ignoring it, because that didn't really work for me, what I did was I was like, you know what? Yeah, my head is big and I'm freaking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So I was able to just respond and go
Because
like,
my
what's
brain
up,
is so
Moonhead?
big.
Yeah, well, yeah, like I have a huge brain, right? I need a huge head to hold this huge brain. And
Yeah.
I was able to, instead of just ignore them and kind of keep going unchanged, I was able to accept something that I thought was a flaw. And then I was able to make a connection with these, people who were calling me names, and I stopped seeing them as bullies. So rather than I need to ignore the bullies and not be affected by them, instead it's no, I'm freaking awesome, and they're okay too. They're just trying to communicate with me in a different way, and I was able to change that, and I got stronger in that moment. And so to me, that's more important for a teen to be able to go, hey, you know what? I don't need to just put my head down and not be affected and ignore other people. I can actually get stronger because of this. And that's going to prepare them for the next time somebody calls them Moonhead, or somebody figures something else to call them, or a boss, or a roommate in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And there's conflict there. Rather than I'm not going to be changed, I'm just going to be strong me. It's, oh, hold on a second. Let me discover my vulnerabilities.
Mm-hmm.
Let me work to make those stronger. And then let me not tear them down either. And let me see if I can create a strong relationship with them.
Awesome. Oh, I love it so much. Yeah, I love this idea of unchanged. Like you can ignore them or you can use them as a catalyst to help you,
Yeah.
But
and without needing to step on them in the process, because that's
Yeah.
usually what teens always go first.
Mm.
Oh, they're just jerks. They're gonna end up flipping burgers for the rest of their lives. I'm like, A, you don't know that, and if they become a CEO of a famous company, now you're gonna be mad.
Mhm.
And B, we don't need that. We don't need to step on them
Right.
in order for us to feel better.
Yeah. Yeah, so good. Oh my goodness, so good. So the other thing that the anti-fragile reminded me of is temperance. Have you thought of that? Like the
Wow.
tempered glass thing?
Yeah, I was thinking of a blacksmith or something. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that's a whole different day. So, all right. What last wisdom do you want to impart before you tell us all about how to get on the app and all the things?
Well, I mean, I love the name of your podcast, right? Like believe you are a good mom. And something that I do with the teens that I work with is it's all about creating powerful hero thoughts to
Mhm.
replace your sidekick thoughts with, and applying everything we've been talking about here to moms out there. For you, how could you become anti-fragile? How can you become that third rubber band that gets stronger under pressure, whether the pressure is coming from your own mind, which 9 times out of 10 it usually is.
Exactly.
And the answer is always, for me, the same. Identify your sidekick thought that's making you feel like you're broken or you're not good enough. Set that aside and then create a powerful hero thought that allows you to take whatever weaknesses you have, whatever your teen or child is doing that you don't like, and allows you to still feel awesome despite what's going on in your life. Powerful hero thoughts like, I am a good mom.
Mhm.
Yeah, my head is big and I'm freaking awesome.
Yeah.
I don't have everything figured out and I don't need to. I'm in the process of figuring things out. I am the best person paired with, the best child. I love those. Like, find your hero thought, and that's how you can get to anti-fragility or become your hero self.
Yeah. So I think as moms, the anti-hero thoughts are the victim thoughts a lot. So
See,
like, woe is me. Oh, tell me.
well, no. Well, because people would say that, oh, sidekick, you mean victim? And I'm like, I think victim, like in a story, a victim and a sidekick and a hero. There's 3 different roles.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And yeah, a sidekick totally gets captured by the villain, but so does a hero. And so to me, the difference between a victim and a sidekick is a victim isn't even part of the team. The victim is like the spectator walking down the street who gets, hit by a falling meteor or something like that, right?
Right.
The
They're the
sidekick,
disposable one.
right? Yeah, they're
Uh,
victim, right? Plus, a lot of people hate the victim mentality. When you say that, I hate that, I'm not a victim, and they immediately recoil. But
oh,
to
okay.
me, the sidekick says, yeah, you are on the hero team, right? And you are there, and it both recognizes the duality of who we are in that moment. That we're still the person striving. We have goals. Victims don't have goals, right? Like they're just walking down the street. But to me, a sidekick is someone who's like, I want to save the day. I want to be the hero, but gosh darn it, I just can't, because of all these thoughts that are holding me back, that are keeping me more so the victim, in that role of being a hero.
Hmm.
I don't know
So
if that
maybe
makes
it's progressive. Like when I find myself in victim mode, it's like, I think I already said this earlier, like, oh, woe is me. I have to just, load this dishwasher 400 times a day. And like, why do these kids have to eat so many times? Like, I just find myself in victim mode all day long. And I
sense.
think about like my sister who loads her dishwasher 100,000 times a day. And like when I'm at her house and we're just chatting and she's just doing her thing, it's like she's just doing her thing. And it's not like, woe is me, I have to do my thing. I'm
Wow.
like, how does she do that? And so like, the victim has no goals kind of is interesting because I don't know. That's like kind of why we get stagnant in motherhood sometimes is because it's like rinse and repeat. Like literally the dishwasher is rinsing and repeat,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and it's like, I need a challenge here. I need something to conquer. I need to feel like a hero that I've actually like accomplished something. So I need a goal besides
Right.
moving dishes 4,000 times a day or like feeding these kids or whatever. And so,
Yeah. And maybe for people like taking both of what we're kind of presenting here, maybe the quick shift and the easy shift is going from victim to sidekick. And
mhm,
you're not a victim who's helpless and has nothing. You're just in sidekick mode, right? Because the way I always tell it is every hero in their story has what's called the abyss or the approach to the innermost cave when it comes to writing, terminology. Every hero feels like they're not good enough.
mhm,
And to me, that's that sidekick mode. You're still a hero. You just feel like you're not.
mhm.
And maybe that's what your listeners can take away from kind of everything we're kind of talking about is, no, you're never a victim. You're just in sidekick mode
Yeah.
for the night.
Yeah. So take ownership of your life, right? And
Mhm.
become the hero. And of course, the classic, who better than me, right? Who
Yep.
better than me that can, like, I could do this dishwasher with my eyes closed, like,
Yeah.
or how about who better than me can teach the kids how to actually clean up their own dishes or,
Right. Yeah. No, I like that.
anyway. All right, Joey, so fun. So it is available. What?
So go to sidekicktohero.com. Right now, there's an interest list up.
Mhm.
In fact, it's very exciting. This week, the app is ready to get all my pre-sale customers in. And so, because I did a special sale at the end of the year, and I said it's coming, and sometime in the first quarter. Well, we're at the last couple days of the first quarter,
Right.
and the development team's like, all right, we're ready to start importing your pre-sale customers to test it out. And so they're gonna go in. They're gonna, I don't know, for probably a couple weeks,
Mhm.
kind of testing things out, exploring, giving feedback. But I'm hoping by the end of April, at least by the end of April, when you go to Sidekick to Hero, the interest list will be down and the hey, just straight up join it right now will be up. So
Oh,
depending on when you listen to this, if the
yeah.
interest list is up, go get on the interest list because I'm going to be sending out a special discount just to the people on the interest list at launch. But if you're listening to this after and you go there and it's already there, then just go sign up. It's great. I think there's going to be a 2-week trial because I know teens need to test things out.
Mhm. Yeah, don't we all? I love those trials. So I think I'm still a teen at heart.
Yeah,
So
me too. Me too.
um yeah, because there's no telling when this episode is gonna air. So
Who knows? Who knows?
so whenever something will be available on that website. So
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Go there. And then I was going to say also, I have a podcast, Secrets for an Awesome Life. It's just for teens, so I talk to the teens. So that's free. You can go listen to that and follow me Instagram at Sidekick to Hero.
Just for teens, as in the moms can turn it on in the car and the
Yep, a lot of moms do that. Yeah, they turn it on
yeah.
in the car, and usually at first their teens protest, but then after a while their teens like, hey, can we listen to that one guy who tells the stories and then teaches something?
Yeah.
And it's like,
Awesome.
yeah, sure.
So good. Okay, cool. Well, thanks so much for being on, Joey. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Emily.
We'll see you later.